Close your eyes slowly and imagine. The magical palace doors are opening. Far, far away, on top of mountains so high that even clouds couldn't reach them, there stood an enchanted palace made of crystal. This palace was so bright that it sparkled like diamonds in the moonlight. In this magnificent palace lived the Snow Queen Stellaris. Stellaris had hair that flowed like snowflakes, softer than silk, eyes that twinkled like the brightest stars in the night, and hands that turned everything she touched into magic. Stellaris loved winter the most, because when winter came, the sky would fill with millions of tiny magical snowflakes. As they spun and danced down to earth, they covered everything with a sparkling white blanket. One morning, as Stellaris looked out from her crystal window, her heart filled with excitement. Today was the annual Snow Dance Festival. This year's festival will be more beautiful than ever before, thought Stellaris. But she couldn't prepare the festival all by herself. So she opened the great crystal doors of her palace and called her dearest friends. Fluffy, a cheerful rabbit as white as snow with cotton-soft fur and enormous ears. Her smile was so warm that even snow would start to melt. Chirpy, a tiny bird with wings that sparkled like blue crystal and a voice more beautiful than nightingales. When she sang, the sky would fill with colorful lights. Nutkin, a sweet squirrel with a tail bigger than a cotton candy ball and curious, bright eyes. Whenever she saw something new, she'd say, "Wow!" and jump with joy. Stellaris gave her friends special tasks for the festival. My dear friends, I have a very special request to make this year's Snow Dance Festival unforgettable. Let's find the rarest snowflakes in the world. Each of you go in a different direction and find the most magical snowflake. When we bring them together, the sky will fill with more enchanting lights than we've ever seen. Her friends' eyes sparkled as they said, "Okay." Fluffy hopped joyfully toward the deep forest. Along the way, she waved to snowmen and kept jumping over icy bridges. In the quietest part of the forest, among the pine trees, she found a very special snowflake hanging there. The heart snowflake. This snowflake was heart-shaped and glowed with warm pink light from within. Stellaris will be so happy, she thought, returning with excitement. Chirpy flacked her wings and soared up among the clouds. While flying in the sky, she spotted where the sun's last rays touched the clouds. There, just as the sun was getting ready to set, she caught star snowflakes that sparkled like silver. These snowflakes shone as bright as real stars, each one making different melodies. "Just like stars fallen from the sky," she sang as she headed back to the palace. Nutkin swished her tail and climbed to the highest mountain peak. Along the way, she played with ice sculptures and listened to the wind whistling. At the mountain's peak, where the rainbow touched, she found a very special snowflake. The rainbow snowflake. This snowflake changed colors in the light, sometimes pink, sometimes blue, sometimes purple, sometimes golden yellow. "Wow, this is a real treasure," she shouted with joy as she began climbing down. As evening darkness fell, the three friends met at the crystal door of the palace. Each had sparkling, special snowflakes in their hands. Stellaris's eyes filled with joy as she welcomed her friends. "You're amazing! Each of you has found wonderful snowflakes. Now it's time for the magical moment." Stellaris brought the giant crystal sphere that stood in the center of the palace. This sphere was so big that 3 people could dance comfortably inside it. The friends took turns placing their snowflakes in the sphere. First, Fluffy's heart snowflake entered, spreading pink light. Then Chirpy's star snowflakes began dancing with silver sparkles. Finally, Nutkin's rainbow snowflake started showing all colors together. And at that moment, the magic began. As the crystal sphere began to glow, the snowflakes shot upward. First slowly, then faster, they began performing magnificent dances in the sky. The sky suddenly filled with colorful lights. Pink hearts flew through the air, silver stars twinkled brightly. Rainbow colors spread in waves. Fluffy jumped with joy. Look! The snowflakes are dancing to their own music. Chirpy began singing her most beautiful songs, and Nutkin swished her tail like a drum. Stellaris raised her hands to the air and spoke magical words. The snowflakes formed a giant heart shape, then became a star, then a flower. Each shape was more beautiful than the last. That night, all the forests, mountains, and valleys saw the light spreading from Stellaris's palace. Little animals came out of their homes to watch the dance show in the sky. "Wow!" they all said together. "We've never seen such a beautiful dance." Stellaris hugged her friends and whispered, "Do you see? Each snowflake is different, but when they're together, they create the most beautiful dance, just like our friendship. When we share, beautiful things become even more beautiful." The festival night continued for a long time. As the snowflakes spun and danced in the sky, Stellaris and her friends sat on the Crystal Palace balcony, watching this magical sight. As their eyes slowly grew heavy, Stellaris said in her soft voice, "The most beautiful memories are the moments we share with our dear friends. I'll never forget this night." The snowflakes seemed to hear Stellaris and began dancing more slowly, creating a sweet lullaby melody. And everyone fell peacefully asleep to that magical lullaby, watching the dance show in the sky. The snowflakes continued dancing as light as dreams until morning. Dear little ones, every child who listens to this story is truly special. When you share beautiful memories with your own friends, doesn't the world become a more beautiful place? Remember that each of your hearts is as precious and bright as Stellaris Crystal Palace. Every smile, every game, every hug you share with your friends, just like those snowflakes, lights up the sky. Now close your eyes and imagine the snowflakes dancing. Perhaps in your dreams you too will see Stellaris's palace and the magic inside the crystal sphere. Remember, dear little ones, each snowflake is different, but when they dance together, the sky becomes its most beautiful. Friendship is like that too. It becomes more beautiful when shared. Sweet dreams, my little hearts. I love you so much.